There is a war unfolding before our eyes, quiet, methodical, invisible. It doesn't use tanks or missiles. It uses information, silence, and ridicule. It's the war for control of truth, and for more than 7 decades, humanity has been losing it without even realizing. Since the mid-20th century, governments, corporations, and intelligence agencies have formed an unholy alliance to hide one of the most profound discoveries in human history. We are not alone. But the real secret isn't just about aliens. It's about power, the kind of power that could rewrite civilization itself. Everything began in 1947 in the endless deserts of New Mexico. A craft fell from the sky. Witnesses saw metallic debris that didn't burn, symbols that glowed under light, and bodies, not quite human. For one brief moment, headlines around the world read, "Flying saucer recovered near Roswell." Hours later, the story changed. Weather balloon. The truth was buried under the first modern disinformation campaign. That moment defined the template for every cover-up to come. Announce, retract, ridicule, erase. Within weeks, secret committees were formed. Majestic 12, Project Sign, Blue Book. Publicly, they claimed to study anomalies. Privately, they managed narratives. Files vanished. Witnesses were threatened. And a global policy of silence was born. By the 1950s, the Cold War provided the perfect excuse. Any unexplained object became enemy technology. Any scientist who questioned it risked losing their career or their life. Even presidents were denied access. Dwight Eisenhower, according to several military insiders, was shown recovered craft only after threatening to storm a base with the First Army. The chain of secrecy grew tighter with every decade. Hiding the truth isn't about secrecy, it's about control of perception. You don't lock knowledge in a vault, you bury it under disbelief. Step 1. Discredit the witness. Pilots are hallucinating, astronauts are confused, ordinary people are attention seekers. The ridicule acts as an invisible gag order. Most remain silent out of fear of mockery. Step 2. Compartmentalize information. Each agency sees only fragments. NASA studies anomalies, the Air Force handles sightings, intelligence units decode radar data, but no one holds the full picture. Truth becomes a shattered mirror. Step 3. Drown reality in entertainment. Turn UFOs into movie cliches, abductions into memes. When fiction imitates truth too well, the real thing becomes unbelievable. By the time evidence emerges, society has been conditioned to laugh. This is psychological warfare. They don't need to erase the truth. They only need to make you doubt your ability to recognize it. Follow the money, and you find the machinery of silence. Trillions of dollars have vanished into unacknowledged special access programs. Shadow budgets hidden even from Congress. These funds sustain underground laboratories, reverse engineering recovered materials, experimenting with propulsion systems that defy known physics. In 1997, the Pentagon admitted that $2.3 trillion could not be accounted for. The next day, September 11, 2001, the very offices investigating that discrepancy were destroyed. Coincidence or containment? Insiders like Dr. Stephen Greer claim that classified energy technologies could replace fossil fuels and end scarcity overnight. But free energy means the end of centralized power, and power never surrenders willingly. Why keep humanity in the dark? Because ignorance is profitable. If people understood that consciousness itself interacts with reality, that the universe is participatory, they would stop obeying systems built on fear. A species that knows its true potential cannot be controlled. It cannot be taxed through scarcity, or ruled through religion, or enslaved by propaganda. It becomes self-sovereign. That is why secrecy persists. The alien question is not about little green men. It's about human liberation. Because whoever controls the narrative of the cosmos controls the story of who we are. Yet cracks appear. Bob Lazar described working on 9 recovered crafts at S4, decades before element 115 was officially synthesized. Colonel Philip Corso revealed how microchips, fiber optics, and night vision tech were seeded into industry after the Roswell crash. And Navy pilots, Commander Fravor and Lieutenant Dietrich, chased a tic-tac object performing impossible maneuvers. Their testimony forced the Pentagon to admit at last that unidentified aerial phenomena are real. Behind them, dozens more have stepped forward. Engineers, radar operators, intelligence officers. Each piece of testimony erodes the wall of silence, but the system responds with the same ancient tactics: discredit, delay, disorient. Disclosure has been weaponized. Instead of hiding everything, the architects of secrecy now leak fragments, truth mixed with lies, to control the rhythm of awakening. They release documents full of redactions. They declassify photos that reveal nothing. They plant contradictory stories through anonymous sources. And then they sit back and watch the chaos online. For every genuine leak, 10 fakes appear. For every real witness, a dozen imposters flood the field. The goal isn't to inform, it's to exhaust. When the population is confused, it stops caring, and apathy is the final victory of control. As one insider once whispered, "We don't hide the truth anymore. We bury it under so much noise that no one can hear it." This apparatus isn't confined to the United States. In Russia, the Cosmos Project analyzed recovered materials from Tunguska and Dalnogorsk. In China, Unit 731A conducts experiments on electromagnetic propulsion. The Vatican, with its Archivum Secretum, guards centuries of contact records between saints and angels, described in eerily physical terms. Across continents, the same symbols recur, the same serpentine gods descending from light, the same teachings about consciousness and balance. Every culture knew, every empire suppressed. Secrecy is humanity's oldest tradition. While the powerful guard secrets, ordinary people pay the price. Scientists disappear after uncovering alternative energy sources. Pilots lose careers for speaking honestly. Whistleblowers live under surveillance, branded as lunatics. Families fracture under the burden of classified oaths that outlive their signers. Meanwhile, billions starve for resources that already exist. Diseases remain uncured, while suppressed technologies gather dust in underground vaults. The cost of silence is measured not in dollars, but in decades stolen from human evolution. But even the deepest control cannot withstand collective awakening. In 2023, intelligence officer David Grush testified before Congress that the U.S. possesses non-human craft and biological entities. His words shook the foundation of the lie. For the first time, mainstream media could not dismiss it as delusion. The narrative was shifting. Behind the scenes, insiders speak of factions within the establishment, some pushing for open disclosure, others fighting to maintain the status quo. A cold war within the black world itself. The truth is no longer locked in vaults. It's fracturing from the inside. This silent war is fought not with weapons, but with awareness. Every person who seeks truth becomes a node of resistance. When enough minds awaken, the network of deception collapses under its own weight. That's why fear is constantly broadcast, through media, through politics, through endless distraction. Because fear lowers consciousness. A fearful population won't question, it obeys. But something ancient inside humanity is stirring. A memory that we are more than subjects of an empire of lies. We are participants in a cosmic story that no government can own. Do not expect a single day of revelation. True disclosure will not come from a podium or a president. It will rise organically through art, dreams, science, and courage. When enough of us know without being told, permission becomes irrelevant. Every painting inspired by the stars, every theory that challenges dogma, every witness who refuses silence, all are part of the same uprising. The revolution of consciousness. The veil is thinning. The truth does not need authorization to exist. It only needs eyes willing to see. Close your eyes. Imagine the Earth at night, seen from orbit, billions of lights flickering like neurons across the dark. Each human mind is one of those lights. Now imagine a network connecting them. Invisible, luminous, aware. Information flows freely. Energy is limitless. Fear dissolves. That world already exists in potential. It only waits for us to choose it. The silent war will end not with surrender, but with remembrance. The moment humanity finally whispers together, "We are ready to know."